Hi everyone, this is Debbie Happy Cohen speaking, and I'm with Joy Based Living, where we are making dreams come true every day through empowering our joy and taking inspired action. So, I wanted to talk today about the two things that if somebody has been traumatized is going to make it impossible for them to reach their dreams. Just absolutely impossible. If they've been emotionally systematically traumatized, especially. So you can look up CPTSD, CPTSR, complex post-traumatic stress. Here are the two things that a person who's in that situation has been systematically trained to be terrified of. Number one is being in the limelight, because an emotional abuser has to have the energy, has to take the limelight. The second one is feeling capable for their own behalf. So if you're a coach and you see some people in that you're coaching, they're like, wow, they have all these strengths, but then I asked them to go do XYZ and it seems like such a simple exercise and they keep delaying and avoiding. It's possible that they are completely terrified and traumatized, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, I didn't have time, I was busy. Maybe I'll write it up for this testimonial that could help this person, do their video. When a video would be more powerful, and she had already promised she would do a testimonial for someone. I'm thinking of specific examples. I have done this. I know this. It is so painful because you're like, oh yeah, really? Because I'm busy. Well, when somebody, the nice thing about couching trauma healing inside of living a dream is that you're invested into a commitment for yourself. That is the beautiful thing. And when you're invested in that and then you're getting blocked, that's like being in a really great class. You're like, okay, if I'm blocking this many times and logically I should be on the other side by now and I'm not. And if the pattern is consistent, there's a common denominator. Maybe it's me. And if I have the courage to look inside and go, what am I feeling? What's going on? And it might be numb. It might be confusion. Usually if there's been a lot of trauma, there's also dissociation. So I know that for me today, I was just going, okay, I have like 3 situations in my life where I'm feeling the feeling of like a double bind. Like no matter which way I go, no matter what I do. One of them was about like sending out a birthday card. Person's not going to be happy no matter what I do. Do I send it out? Another one was about using the SH word on a book cover. Well, if I do that, what about these people? And what about that? Like it, and in my family, double binds were like growing up. Oh my gosh, it was like breakfast, lunch. It was just part of the family atmosphere. I didn't know until later that's called ambient abuse and coercive control, because when you are in a double bind, you become confused, indecisive, and if you're young enough, you love the people who are doing it, not because they're doing it, because you love them. And then you want to protect them. So, like, for example, you don't have to do that favor for me. You don't have to include me in that. I just want you to know that I love you. And I want you to know that there are no conditions or strings to my love for you. So please don't even include me in that thing. That's how love gets twisted. Because if somebody loves you, you shouldn't be having to prove yourself to them. And that's how double binds happen. And then you learn that if you put yourself second, the other person will feel important. They will feel loved, and you love them and you want them to. So you would do anything as a kid. So when that gets transferred to adulthood, it becomes crazy making, because then you attract people who always want to be put first and want somebody who's going to always be second, who is going to be afraid of their own limelight, which if you look at me, it doesn't look like I'm afraid of that, but it's taken me a long time to get really present and to get really authentic with what I was presenting. In fact, one of my speaking coaches years ago said to me, because I was getting like consistent 8s across the board and he was getting consistent 10s when we would go speak public professionally. And we would speak to the same audience, and that's what would happen. And I finally asked him one day, because he wouldn't give me criticism unless I asked. I asked him one day, why did you get all the 10s and I got all the 8s? And average. And he said, Debbie, he said, you didn't give them you. He said, you gave them things that they could look up in a book. And it took me a long time, a really long time, to understand exactly what that meant. Like, if I was transferring information to people because I really wanted them to have that information and I really cared and I really want to see them win, like, isn't that enough? No, it's not. People want to know my story. They want to know my experience and my perception and my perspective. But I would remove myself, which has made me a very keen observer. Because when you remove yourself and what you want out of stuff from the equation, you begin to observe people very, very, very acutely. And when you do that, you can predict their behavior and you can help them to see where they're getting in their own way. So there are advantages to it, but it's not a way to make a life. So I'm a lot happier now that I have a community that just wants me for me. I mean, I've been like, hey, dude, if you can't handle my conversations about this particular topic anymore, I am so sorry. You know, if you don't want to be my friend, oh, no, you keep that going on. You stay on your soapbox. I'm like, okay, we'll do good here. So, okay, so the two things that a person is terrified of who's been extremely traumatized are being in the limelight and being in personal power, personal agency, individuation, because what an abuser will do is anything they can to keep you confused, like a drunk gazelle, like a bald tire. You might think you're going somewhere, but you're not. You're not going anywhere. And they know that, which is why they perpetuate the confusion. And so double binds are a great way to do that. So I want you to know this, because if you're experiencing either of those, check out information about CPTSD, about CPTSR, heal the trauma, cure the trauma. Check out Richard Grannon's station. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about him and his work, because I think he's done something really brilliant that has been life-changing for me and for some others that I'm working with. And I'm going to be posting an ebook with the SH word on the cover. I'm committing to that out loud now, because it's fun and funny and spunky, and that's me. And so stay tuned for that. I'll be making it available as a freebie, like for, sign up for my email and you'll get it, that kind of a thing. So just stay tuned, because it's going to be flipping awesome. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Keep taking inspired action and empower your joy, baby. You deserve it.